and we are talking all things AI and education. I'm just checking right now to make sure I am live on my platforms, and it looks like I am. If you're watching me on social media, it looks like maybe I'm not live in those areas. Let's see real quickly. One more time. Make sure. No, I'm not live there. Well, we'll see. Let's see. Here we go. We're going to go live here. And I need to just make sure that I am live on YouTube. Give me 1 second. Let me go to my destinations here. Let me know how things are going. Talk to me in the chat. Who are you? Where are you from? What grade do you teach? And how are things going with AI? Have you used it before? Is this your first time ever even thinking about it? What are you doing in terms of the AI space? Yes, I'm live everywhere. Good, good, good. We are live. Awesome. All right. So really quickly, my name is Kathleen Jasper, and I am going to be focusing today on AI in education. And you do not have to have any skills whatsoever in this area. And if you do have skills in this area, then that's great. We are going to amp this up so that you are getting even more advanced skills than just the basic skills here. So we've got English teachers, Amanda, Dulce, good morning, Kevin, high school science teacher, awesome. I have some good science examples today, high school history, special ed, awesome, Sarah, Kent, Heba, good morning. Fiona, elementary school counselor, dabbed a bit with ChatGPT here from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Awesome. All right, guys. So we had a ton of people sign up for this webinar, like 2,500 people. We will probably have 150 live once you guys start coming in. I do have a colleague in the chat. She is going to have an offer code for you guys if you want to purchase my course. And it looks like I'm good here. I'm going to talk to you all about that, but I just want to get a few things out of the way first when we talk about AI. So first and foremost, if you're going to be doing this on your school computer, you need to make sure that you read whatever protocol there is in your district for AI. We don't want to get into trouble by uploading data that we're not supposed to or whatever. What you do on your own personal computer is your business. So things like lesson plans and building cool, activities and asking questions and all that is totally fine. But when it comes to like uploading things into ChatGPT data, even if you take off those identifying aspects, like if you take off the student's name and stuff, we just want to make sure we're following school and district protocol, because the last thing I want to happen is anybody get into trouble with this. Okay. And you're not going to get into trouble. It's just important that you read the protocol of your school. Now, I think all schools should allow it. I think we should be letting students use it. I think everybody should be using it, because if we don't learn how to use this tool, we're not evolving. It's just like when Google came out. It's just like when the calculator came out. Everybody thought the calculator was cheating. Okay. It's not cheating. It's just doing some of those tasks that used to be very tedious, and now you can be the best version, the best teacher that you want. Nothing will replace a good classroom teacher. An effective classroom teacher can never be replaced. I don't care how many robots they build. I don't care how good AI becomes. A human classroom teacher sitting there with students going over things will never be replaced in my mind. But the lesson planning and the curriculum mapping and the other tedious stuff we do every day can certainly be outsourced to AI. So we're going to talk about that today. All right. So let me know in the chat that everything is going okay. You should be able to hear me. I am live. I can hear myself on here. So we should be good. All right. And let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat and what's going on there. Now, one thing I want to talk about quickly as well is that we are in the very beginning stages of AI. So if you're old like me, the internet hit around 1993-ish, 94-ish. I was a sophomore in high school when it really, like when Google, and at the time it wasn't Google, it was JSTOR and Ask Jeeves. Ask Jeeves was the big search engine, okay? And we were just to load a page, it like took forever, especially if there was a picture on the page, right? That's kind of where we are in terms of AI. And that's why I'm really excited about it, because if you can get in now and learn to use it, you can really, innovate and just be really awesome at your job. One of the ways in which we can avoid being replaced is by learning how to use these tools to make our outputs even better, right? So as a teacher, my output is what I'm doing with you right now, teaching, right? And if I use AI to kind of outsource some of these tedious things that I need to do, I can focus more on the human stuff. So that's the way I want you to think about AI. The other thing is that you can't break anything. Get in there and use it. Try all types of things. Have it look at things, have it analyze things, have it help you, ask it questions, have it ask you questions. I'm going to show you how to do that. You can ask AI to ask you questions so that you can build a prompt together with the agent. Today, we are going to be using ChatGPT primarily, but I'm also going to show you how to use another one called Claude. That one's really good for English teachers. You are going to like probably the Claude a little bit better. ChatGPT is a little more technical. And I'm going to be using the free version so that if you do not pay for anything and you don't want to pay for anything because you're trying to save your money, totally fine. There's a free version. Now, let me just tell you, in the free version, there are some limitations. You can't upload huge data sets. If things are too big, it'll tell you you'll have to chunk it out. I'm going to show you an example of that. And in this webinar, I'm going to kind of jump around in my screens because I'm going to show you how to use AI in context. I'm not going to show you a PowerPoint presentation about AI. I'm actually going to use it with you in the thing. Okay. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to think when you see me do an example, it may be an English example. It may be a science example. I'm actually trying to pull from all content areas today to show you different things in grade levels. But even if it doesn't fit exactly to what you do every day, think about it. How can I adapt this to my own plan? The other thing I'm going to tell you really quick before we get started is I do have a course for this. I have a very elaborate course with handouts and different things like that. Today, I'm going to show you some things that are not in my course because I don't want you to watch something that you really like here and go, oh, I'll get the course. And then you get the course and it's the same stuff I did in the free webinar. Let me show you really quick where to get the course. You are getting an offer code in the chat. My colleague Yana is in the chat. But if you go into KathleenJasper.com under online courses, under teacher resources, you can see this is AI for educators. And you can see the description here. It's on sale for $39.99, and you're going to get an offer code to take even more off. So I'm going to actually throw that in the chat here for you guys, just so you have it. And the offer code is that. And so you can see when you go onto there, you'll see it. It's pretty cheap. It's not super expensive. And then it looks like this. So this is what it looks like. There are 5 modules. This is a bonus module down here, number 5. It is prompt engineering. In the class, I show you how to be like a prompt master. Your prompts are really important. We're going to talk about that. But this goes through, it's like foundations, then curriculum planning, performance analysis. This is building assessments in ChatGPT, then different specific curriculum things, and then some prompt engineering. That's what's going on in the course. There are handouts, I believe, in each one. I have different handouts. Let's see. They're somewhere. You can download them somewhere in here. Let me see here. Where are we? Yeah. Whenever there's a download, I have them all right here for you. And, they're Google Docs, so you can grab those. So that's the actual course. But today we're going to be doing a lot, and you might just be fine with what I'm talking about with you today, and then you can go out and just use it. But if you want more information on how to curriculum map using ChatGPT and how to build really robust lesson plans and all that, I go into even more detail in the course. Okay. Oh, Kathleen, you took my course. Kathleen with a C. I'm Kathleen with a K. You took the course yesterday and it's great. Awesome. All right. So glad to hear that. All right. So really quick, one more time, check the protocols of your school and district. Okay. They may block this on your school computer, but that doesn't mean you can't download the app for your phone. There's a great ChatGPT app, and it doesn't mean you can't use your own personal computer. For sure, I would be using AI. Now, I want you to think about what are the most tedious jobs you do in education? I'm sure the list is long. But, because we have so many things we have to do besides teach, right? We have to do all these other things. Think of the things you do every day, 3 to 4 times a day. Could be answering emails. Lesson planning can be very tedious for teachers. And I go through that. I have a bunch of videos on lesson planning. We're not going to do that today. I have several on my YouTube channel. I'll show you at the end of this. And I also have a more robust one in the course. And I want to do some new things here. But anything, think about it. Trying to find writing prompts for your students, that can be really challenging. Trying to find reading passages for your ELA kids. Perhaps it's differentiating instruction based on how kids are doing. All of this stuff, IEP prep, Sarah just came in with that. For sure, you can use AI to help you with this, okay? So here are some of our objectives today. First of all, by the time you leave this course, you're going to be able to take some of those tedious tasks that can be outsourced to AI. You're going to think about how you can apply it to your own skill set and to your own situation at school. The second thing you're going to learn is how to use the free version of these tools so you don't have to pay, and how you can just use them day to day for different functions, whether you're a science teacher, math teacher, English teacher, elementary, middle, high, all of that. And then the third thing you're going to be able to do is have confidence in just trying these things out. Now, within that, we're going to go over a lot, okay? So let's first have a look at the free version of ChatGPT. And this is my ChatGPT that I use in a lot of my videos here. So let me go all the way up. I started off here, and I'm just going to show you in context, like my conversations with ChatGPT. Now, in order to start, you just go to chatgpt.com and you can set up your free account. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing that on this webinar because many of you already have it. And the same thing with Claude. I'm going to show you Claude really quickly here. I'll be using Claude as well. It looks a little different, but it's a lot like ChatGPT. You can see that you have your chats over here, and you can start a new chat. It's very similar, right? Now, the difference between ChatGPT and Claude is that Claude is a lot like a partner, and I like to look at these tools as thought partners. They are like having a really smart colleague sitting next to you that can do anything. All right. And you're like, have this partner kind of helping you do your work. ChatGPT is a little more technical. And Claude is a little more, and you can see just by the way it's set up, Claude is a little bit more, like sort of the English teacher kind of vibe. It's a little bit more artsy, I would say. I mean, that's not the best word for it, but they're two different models and they do two different things. But I like to use both. Sometimes I'm in the mood for ChatGPT. Sometimes I'm in the mood for Claude. The good thing is you can put free accounts on both of them, and you can kind of do the same prompt in both and see how they differ, and you can use which one you like, okay? So I'm going to go here to ChatGPT. I'm going to start here. Excuse me. I have a bit of a cold, so if I cough, I apologize. And this is the one I use for all of my stuff like that I do videos on. My actual paid GPT, I do pay for the big Mac Daddy service for my company, and I have all of my team members on it. That makes sense for me. You can pay $20 a month for ChatGPT, and it's awesome. If you feel like it makes your life easier and you want to bump it up and use all the bells and whistles, then I highly recommend paying for it, but you don't need to. And if you just want to use the free, use the free. It's fine. I'm going to show you some limitations with the free in context. So over here on the left-hand side, these are all my chats, and you can see if you went to any of my webinars last week or the week before last, I did a leadership webinar on how to do your resume and interview, and I did a teacher webinar, how to do your resume and interview. And you can see like I asked it to put in some job descriptions. I had it do a resume for me. It gave me all kinds of good information here. So all of that is in here. I even did a training on APA citations for my students on my YouTube channel and did a whole thing in there using APA. I mean, the sky is the limit when it comes to asking this thing questions. So I'm just giving you some different things that I've used it for. Resume customization here. You can see like it's got all of, I mean, it really helps. Like the resume, it's awesome. You can put in a job description, you can put in an old resume, and it'll zhuzh it up for you and make sure you have like the good information on your resume based on the new job description. There's so much to do here. Now, there is going to be a lot of scrolling in this webinar today. I have to scroll because I would like them to invent a tool where you can hop around inside of the chat and you don't have to scroll. But for now, that's the way the tech is. I have organized my chats by topic so I can jump out, but I just want you to be aware, if scrolling annoys you, today's going to annoy you because you have to scroll in the chats. It's the only way. But I want to invent like a way to like use it almost like a matrix or like a thought bubble where you can jump around to different things. I wish it indexed a little bit better, but again, it's 1993. It's dial-up, right? So we'll be past dial-up here soon. Somebody said you're not old if you were in high school in 1993. Well, I'm a little old, maybe not the oldest, but I'm definitely not the youngest, right? Okay. So thank you for the webinar on the interview secrets for teachers. I applied the ideas and nailed the job interview. Awesome. That's wonderful. Okay. So now that you guys are getting jobs in education, let's make our lives easier. All right, here we go. So I'm going to talk to you first about one of the things I decided to do with AI just to do this presentation. What do we do as teachers? We present, right? And I knew what I wanted to do with you guys. Like I wanted to do some actual hands-on practical experience here, but I need to organize it in my brain. You know how like when you have an idea and it's all over the place, the thing that ChatGPT can do and Claude and other AI tools is it can organize what you're trying to do. So let me show you what I did here. Let me go ahead and share screen. And again, it's going to be a bit scrolly because I want to, I got to show you what I'm doing. I have to go all the way up at the top. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to do this. Okay. So I went over and I got some school grade data. This I got from, and I'll show it to you in a little bit. I've got it on another screen over here. I have to stop sharing and share over here. But basically, I got this from the internet. It's school grade data. It's a giant data set for all the schools in Florida. That's where I am. So you might be in New Jersey. You might be somewhere else. And I uploaded it and I said to ChatGPT, I'm trying to show teachers how to use ChatGPT to read data. I'll be hosting a webinar today. And you can see I'm dictating in this because I'm saying period here. I'm going to show you in a minute how to dictate. I have some school grade data. Can you just have a look at this and tell me what sort of thing I can do to help my teachers understand it? Okay. Now, I didn't even type this into ChatGPT. You can't see it on the webinar because my face is in the way. But do you see this chat down here? I'm typing in it. Chat is down here. Okay. So this is the chat. I'm typing in it right now. Do you see these little stars down here? By my face, where my face is right here, is a little microphone. You can actually click that. Let me show you. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm in the middle of a webinar right now helping my teachers understand how to use the dictation tool on the chat. Can you outline how to use this so I can send it out in a handout to all my participants? And then you just click the check mark. It'll analyze it. You hit send it or hit enter, and it will show you how to use it. Okay. Now, the thing is with this dictation tool here, and again, you can't see it. My head is where the little microphone icon is, but it is there, I promise. You can talk into it and even pause and go, hang on a second. Let me think about this. And it will decipher all of that. So you do not even have to type into this thing. Okay. You can say, and all of these, I said I was dictating into here. Okay. So it'll take all your mumbo jumbo, speaking, and it'll turn it into something like this. It totally understood what I said. And it gave you like a little thing here, how to use dictation. Let's say you want a step-by-step tutorial for your students, throw it in there. Okay. And you might say, oh, you know what? I like this, but can you add that there's an app that they can download on their phone also for ChatGPT and they can dictate into their phone and it will put that in there too. Rarely is your first response your best response. Okay. You have to talk back and forth with this thing, go back and forth and really get to know it. Now, keep this in mind. Let me show you this right here. Let's say that you are, okay, let's go to teacher resume customization. So this is the resume thing that I did last week that some of you are talking about in the chat. I'll show you where to get all my webinars so you can watch the resume webinar later. But this was the chat I used in the resume webinar. Okay. And you can see that it's pretty long. I got a lot going on in here. We did a lot that day. Okay. Now, if I want to do more resume stuff that has to do with like maybe take some of what I did here and elaborate on it, maybe I want to do a cover letter. Maybe I want to expand on this. I don't know, whatever it is, but it has to do with resume. I've already trained ChatGPT in this particular chat over here to be very resume focused. And all of the things that I've said to it, it has done, right? So if I've already trained it, I want to keep the conversation going here, right? About resumes. That's why this menu over here is so great, because you can keep it all straight over here and just continue to train your chat bot in the subject you're talking about. If you go to a new chat, this is brand new now. You're still getting the internet. You're still getting the brain of ChatGPT, which is super awesome. And like, I mean, it's AI, so it knows all the things, right? But now it's like a blank slate. Okay. You're going to have to start over with the training. So what I like to do with the paid ChatGPT, you can actually put these all into folders here. And there's a little more organizational, capabilities, I would say. But when you are trying to go back to something like this was the Fab Five of reading here, you can see this. I had, I did a YouTube video and I had it go through the Fab Five of reading and I had it summarize it. Maybe I want to talk more about phonemic awareness. Maybe I want to talk more about phonological awareness. I'm going to go back to this Fab Five of reading because that conversation is trained in that area. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So you don't want to just keep starting new chats all the time. Sometimes you will. Sometimes you'll start a new chat for something random. But for some of these, you've been talking to it for quite a while, going back and forth, giving it prompts, asking it to do certain things. So you want to save those and go back to it when it's time. Okay. And that will help you. You know, this is all about the teaching reading exam. So when I've uploaded things and talked to it, now it's got a really good understanding of that exam. I'm going to want to go back to that chat and work in that chat when I'm talking about the teaching reading exam. Okay. That's a little tip for you. Don't just keep starting new chats. You can, but it really helps to stay in the chat you're in or find the chat that has to do with what you're talking about and continue to train it. It'll get better and better and better and better. Okay. Now, one of the things, let me go here. Let me start. Let's start up here. So I went in and I've got this tool here. That's an AI tool that you won't have because it's paid, but let me go up to the top. So I uploaded the school grade data. It's a huge piece of data. And let me stop sharing here and show you exactly what that data looks like. Let's go here. I'm going to share entire screen. Okay. Now I uploaded this whole data set into ChatGPT for that, just to see what it would give me summarize. And because I'm using the free version, it was too much for it. Sometimes you have to pare down your data if it's big like this. Now this is a huge data set. This has got, I mean, look at it. It's got, oh my gosh, 3,000, 4,000 column or rows here, 3,000, almost 4,000 rows. This is the entire school grade data set for the state of Florida, right? Let's say I was a district leader and I had to put a presentation together based on this data. I could upload this into ChatGPT and say, can you summarize this data, help me make a presentation? And it will do that for me. And I was trying to figure out ways that I could talk to you guys about that. And show you how to use it. When I uploaded it, it was a little too much, but it's because it's a large data set. If this was something smaller, you could do that. And I actually did. I went to this particular PDF here and it would not upload another PDF. It wouldn't allow me to upload because sometimes you meet your data max. So what I did was I grabbed this. Oop, hang on. Let me get in there. Okay, there we go. Come on. Okay. I grabbed this and even grabbed the chart like that. You know how you copy a chart? Sorry. Come on, PDF. There we go. You know how you copy a chart in a PDF like that? And it's all weird. And if you were to copy that into a Word document, it'd be all crazy. Well, I did that into Chat GPT, and let me show you what it did. It went ahead and summarized. Sorry, I have to keep sharing. It went ahead and summarized what was going on in there and gave us all the different things that is happening in there. So you can also copy from a PDF if it won't let you upload. Do you see how my upload is not allowing me? It's saying try again tomorrow because I'm in the free and I uploaded this giant data set here. Okay. But you wouldn't be doing that giant data set. I was just trying to see what it would do. So I uploaded it and it said, here's how you can use this data set. And it gave me an overview of the data set and what it has. And it gave me some tips on cleaning up the data. It said, remove the headers, and you saw those big headers in there, take those out. And it even gave me some prompt examples. Can you clean this school data set and give me the average math achievement score by district? It will do that. Which schools in Alachua district have the lowest English language arts learning gains? So maybe you're an administrator. Maybe you're a department head. Maybe you're someone who has to give a presentation for the parents. You can upload the data and have it give you, a summary, a handout, and things like that. It'll generate bar graphs for you and pie charts and things like that. It will do that for you. Okay. It'll even draft letters to parents for you, write staff meeting, take notes, right? And then it gave me some next steps here. So, and then I said, hey, is this data set too big? And it said, yeah, it's too big for I put it here. Is this data set too big for ChatGPT? Yes, for the free version, it's too big. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use it. You just have to chunk it out to do that data set. Okay. So that was just like one thing that I tested as I was getting ready for this particular webinar. And then I thought, all right, let me bring this back down to something super practical. All right. So let's say that we are a biology teacher. And after this, I'm going to take a break and answer some questions. Okay. So let's say that we are a biology teacher and we have a textbook online or some sort of PDF that I can download and even upload into ChatGPT. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to build like a note-taking template or some sort of a handout based on what we're going to read that day. So as we're reading and as I'm giving instruction, the students have a thing to fill out, right? Maybe I'm teaching them how to take notes. So I asked ChatGPT to build me a template that students would then fill in, right? Now, remember, the more information I give ChatGPT or Claude, if you're using Claude, the better. So I would say I'm a 9th grade biology teacher. We're working on, ecology or whatever. I have this PDF I'm going to copy and paste into here, or some aspects of the PDF I'm going to copy and paste in here. I'm trying to teach my students how to take notes. I'd like you to generate a note-taking template for this activity or for this part of the textbook so that while we're going over the textbook and while I am lecturing and doing direct instruction, that they have something to, work on while I'm talking, something to fill out, something to guide them, right? So what I did was, let me go and share screen again one more time. I'm actually going to share. What did I use? Let's see here. Where is hang on one second. Oh, it's over here. It's not in this one. Sorry, I'm going to show you that. I've got so many things open right now. Hang on. It is right. Where's my principles of biology? There we go. Okay. So I took this principles of biology, and if you have enough space, if you haven't used up all your data for the free version, you could upload this entire thing. The problem is it's 448 pages. So this is kind of like what you get as a science teacher or a math teacher or an English teacher. You get these like textbook things, you know what I mean, that go with the textbook and what you're teaching. And it's got all kinds of information. A lot of times you can get the textbook online, right? So what I did was I grabbed like all of this. I just went down and I don't know why there we go. I went in here and I just took the whole section. All right. And I just wanted to see what it would do. It didn't grab the pictures, but that's okay. You could actually save the picture and upload it or whatever. But I just grabbed what I could here and I put it into ChatGPT. Now, notice I copied it from the PDF and then look at what I did here. I just pasted it in here. And look at it. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I mean, it's all just in here, but ChatGPT will read it. Look at how long this is. Look at how long this is. Okay. And I said, can you make me a note-taking template? And within seconds, it gave me this note-taking template based on the textbook section. And I've got the overview. Maybe we're talking about what is biology, 4 big questions. It even gave me guiding questions to go with this. All right. It gave me a little chart that I could then put up on my whiteboard, or I could, I'm going to print this out. I'm going to actually show you how to print this out. Detailed notes on each property. It gave me the note-taking template for them. All right. Now it asked me, would you like me to create a simplified guided worksheet for students? Yes, please. And then it did. Look at this. So let me show you what that looked like. What I did was I grabbed it and threw it into Google Docs because, here it's formatted strange. It's formatted for ChatGPT, not Google Docs. And I just wanted to see how it would go in Google Docs because sometimes it pastes in pretty easily and sometimes it doesn't. So let me go. Here it is. All right. Here's what it did for me. I put this into Google Docs and it did a pretty good section for me. And then I was like, you could take, there's some things that need to be formatted. It's not going to be perfectly formatted for you yet. You can go back and forth with it and say, hey, can you please format this table better? And it will. But I was pressed for time. So what I like to do is, this is Google Docs. So it's not the same as Word. You could put it into Word. But under table properties here, I went into cell. Where did I go? Yeah. No, is that it? No. You have to grab. Where did to get my, let's go back. You could put the lines. Hang on. Here it is. Table border. You need to grab it like 1 point. Right now, if you could see in there, it was at 0 point. You can go in and format it. It'll format for you, but sometimes it doesn't format that well. If you keep asking it, it'll give you some formatting or whatever. But you can see here, it gave me this nice worksheet. I could put this into my Google Drive, my Google Classroom, and it took all of 15 seconds, or, it took me a minute to copy it, but you put it in there. Now, would I just print this out and give it to students without having a look at it? Without asking it to elaborate? No, I would probably go back in here and say, okay, I really like these 4 big questions. Let's say these are the 4 big questions we want to ask. And maybe I actually like these. These are pretty good questions. Like, what's shared properties make something alive? That's a level 1 question, but it moves up in complexity. How do living things function? That's a little bit more complex. How do scientists classify? How did this diversity come about and continue? This D here, this is a high level question. I like this. Oops, let me share this. I like this question right here. How did this diversity come about, right? These are high level questions. But let's say I want 5 more high level questions. I might go in here and say, hey, for section 3, I really like these 4 big questions. Let's try that. Let me do it. Thanks, ChatGPT. For section 3, under 4 big questions in biology, can you add 6 more questions to make it 10 big questions in biology? And the last 3 questions, please make them highly complex questions that the students will have to use their critical thinking skills in order to answer. All right, and then I'm going to hit my little check mark there. You can't see it. It's behind my face. And then I'm going to hit enter. And it will begin to do that for me. Okay. And here's the revised. Now it gave me the first four, and now it's going into 5, 6, 7. And here come the challenge questions. Think critically. Look what it did for us. It gave us much higher level questions. This is where the back and forth with the AI is very important. Simply uploading a prompt, and I know a lot of people think, oh, kids are cheating. Sure, they're cheating. Of course they are. They've been cheating. We've been cheating. Everybody's been cheating, right? So you upload a prompt and you're like, hey, I need to write an essay on this. Here's the prompt. Write me an essay. That is not going to give you the outputs that you need. And you're going to know right away when your students do that. It's going to be so obvious. But when you upload like a really good article, or you upload the textbook and you give it really good guidelines on what do you want it to do, and then it gives you an output and you read the output and you're like, you know what? I love this. There's just one thing in section 3. I want some better questions. And you talk to it. It's going to do it back and forth, back and forth. This is where the outputs get really good. And that's where training that conversation gets really good, because then when I go back and work in that biology section, now it knows I want high level questions. Now it knows I want note taking templates. There's also an area where you can put a thumbs up. It's just like your Spotify playlist. When you like something, put a thumbs up. It'll start to train your conversation. And then you can go back in there and ask it some more questions. That could be like your biology worksheet generator conversation. Okay. So that's really, really helpful. All right. Let me just take a look at some questions here. We'll be teaching middle school technology this fall. Awesome, Mark. Okay. I'm just looking at different questions here. Doesn't it use all the information in all the chats though? No, it doesn't. Kent, that's a good question. It will not go back into your chats. There are some AI tools that are paid. Every time you start a new chat, it's almost like a new Google search. Okay. Now it's being updated all the time. You know, a new update may allow it to go into chats, but when you start a new chat, you're starting a new conversation. Now it still has the whole internet, and it still has everything it's been trained on for the last 10 years, which is a lot. So it's going to do really well. But if you really want to train it in this free version, you want to go back into that chat that you're using. Does ChatGPT collect data associated with the account using the platform? Okay, Meg, good question. Here's the thing. If you are using a free service like ChatGPT, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, they are most definitely collecting your data and they are using your data. So assume that every single thing you are uploading is being collected, analyzed, and used. Hopefully it's being used for good, but sometimes it's being used for evil, for sure. That's the state that we're in. When you, and even when you pay for these platforms, you're still uploading data. If you are uploading anything into the internet, assume it is being collected. All right. And that's just the way it is. Now, that's why I say follow the protocol in your district. Make sure that you're not uploading any student data. I know some of you are talking about if you want to plan for an IEP. You can use ChatGPT to help you plan for an IEP, but if you are uploading any information, I would strip it of any identifiers, student identifiers. Okay. Now, the thing is, if people want the data, like people can get your data at any time. I mean, hospitals get hacked, schools get hacked, government organizations get hacked. I mean, if they want the data, if there's a nefarious person out there or people out there, they can get it, right? But we would still want to be careful. So I would not be uploading identifiers on student work. You can certainly upload student work and have ChatGPT grade it based on a rubric. I show you how to do that in the course, but you want to make sure that you strip all the identifying information, because we don't want to get into a situation where like you were like, oh, I didn't know. If there's a protocol online, and there most likely is for your school district, I would have a look at that and see what you're allowed to do. And if you're not allowed to do much, then just use ChatGPT for personal use. You can create lesson plans on your own personal laptop. You can create these worksheets on your own personal laptop. The thing you can't do is upload student data. You know, that's okay. You can upload school grade data. Let's say you are a department head and you're going over the school grade data with your team. Let's say you're a PLC head and you want to upload that data and have it sort of summarize it for you. There's no identifiers by student. That's fine. But if it's like private data, obviously we don't want to be uploading that. Okay. Let's see here. Can it give mathematical symbols at a high? Okay, yes, Rita, let's talk math real quickly. And again, the sky's the limit. The possibilities are infinite. I'm trying to do I just did biology. We just did a note taking example. Let me show you some exponential growth practice. All right. So let me show you something really quick. Let me stop sharing. Hold on. Let me share another screen. I do now SAT prep. I started with SAT prep a long time ago. Many of you are in here right now. Let me know if you are new to my webinars or if you've been on for a while. I started in test prep. My whole company is test prep for teacher certifications. But when I first started my company, I did SAT and ACT prep. So I'm going back to SAT prep because I really want to help students get a good grade on their SAT. And so I have built some of my own questions. And what I did was I went to my question here. And this question number 2, and let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay. So question 2 right here, it says a population of yeast cells is increasing in a nutrient solution. So this is an exponential growth question here. Okay. This is something you're going to see on SAT. They have a bunch of exponential growth questions and they ask them in different ways. Okay. So I have this one problem here and I like it. It's good. I'm using it. It's my problem. I wrote it and I used it in a live session for SAT. I go live on this other YouTube channel and I do my own questions. We do 6 reading and writing and 6 math. And this was one of my 6 math. But let's just say I really want to hone in on exponential growth with my students. Okay. And I want them to understand exponential growth equation and all of that. Right. So I grabbed this question here. You can also take a screenshot of it and upload it, but I just grabbed it because it's in regular text. If it had a bunch of crazy symbols and things like that, you can screenshot it and it'll read it. It will give you the latex of it. If you want to ask it, like, can you put this in latex for me so you can upload it? It will do all that. But let me just show you what I did basically here. I grabbed that. Let me stop sharing. And now I have to share another screen. Please hold. All right. And I put it in here. I said, can you write me 5 more questions like this one with different scenarios and different stuff? And then I put that question 2 in there. Okay. And it said, here's 5 similar. And it did it. So let's say we're doing that practice, right, with math, like you want to do like 10 so that it's just muscle memory and they know exactly how to do this exponential growth stuff here. And again, I'm not a math teacher. I do teach SAT math. Exponential growth stuff is probably not the technical term, but I know how to get high scores on these exams. Let me zoom in a little bit. So please excuse the way I refer to some of this stuff, but you can see it gave me all of this information. And it said, will you like me to include detailed explanations and answer keys? I would definitely say yes. I have to have an answer key to teach. I want an answer key. And then I thought, okay, on SAT, they also want you to not just find like the exact number, but they also sometimes will ask you how to, and let me close this, how to, write the equation for it. So I just threw this out there. I said, can you also generate me some practice test questions that have to do with exponential growth formula? I want to make sure that the students can also determine where the variables go. Because on SAT, you have to choose one. And it did. Look what it did. First of all, it gave me the exponential growth formula. So and then look what it did here. Population of bacteria starts with, and it says which formula correctly models. This is actually, you'll see questions like this on the SAT. You have to pick which one it's going to be. And it did it with very little prompting. This thing is getting so good. And notice that it's in the equation form. Now I might say, if you'd like, I can generate answer keys. Can you give this to me in latex so I can enter it in, I don't know if you have a question generator, and it should give it to me in latex. Yep. Here's the code. There's the latex code. And then you copy that. There's a little copy thing here and you can throw it into, a lot of math teachers have math, generators where they do, you use latex to make these crazy formulas and it gives it to you. Okay. And yes, please give me detailed answer explanation in latex, and it will do it. There it is. Now, you're not reading this as a person, right? You're like, what is this? But a math person understands that you need this code in order to have it look like this in a document with the superscripts and the subscripts and the formulas and the different symbols and things like that you don't have on a regular keyboard. Okay? So, I mean, what do you think of that? All right, lots of people are new to the webinars. Let me know if you guys feel like some of the stuff I'm showing you on ChatGPT is going to help you. Just asking for the code is very, very helpful. Ask this thing, there are so many things you can ask it. And the thing is, sometimes it will make things up. I always say you can tell that men dominate the ChatGPT space because if it doesn't know the answer to something, it'll just make up a bunch of stuff. They call it hallucinating. Instead of it saying, I don't know the answer to that, can you ask me a few more questions? It'll just start making stuff up. So you have to be careful. You really have to, you can't just copy and paste from here. That's why I get irritated when people are like, oh, it's cheating. It's not. You need to read everything that's going on. This is not going to, if you really want to build a robust math worksheet with the latex code and the right answers and how you do it in the classroom, it's going to have to be a back and forth, but it is going to help you generate such rich material for your students at, a fraction of the time. That latex form just answered the millions of questions I had, just saved me hours of work. Yes, that's what I want. I want to save teachers hours of work. Okay. Now, Courtney, you sound like you're a math person. There might be now out there in AI land, there are tools that people are building using ChatGPT, but they're actually building new bots. I actually have built some of my own agents to help me with specific tasks. And if you get the paid version of ChatGPT, you can build your own agent and you can build its brain. So it has it's like a math teacher and you feed it all these instructions. So it acts like a math teacher all the time. Those are some upgraded versions. And you can probably even find tools online that will do that. But why? You can do it yourself. You're a math teacher. You know what all these equations are. You don't need to be a coder to do this. You can do it with the free version of ChatGPT and you'll be fine. Can ChatGPT help generate PowerPoint presentations? Yes, it can. There are actually tools built into PowerPoint that will help you, but let me go back to my chat. Let's just do it in real time. Okay, let's do PowerPoint. Let's go back to, and I'm really zoomed in here on my ChatGPT just so you guys can see it better on the thing. It would be a lot. Okay, let's do this classroom management one. Okay, so here's what I did. I wanted to pretend I was a brand new teacher. Hang on, I gotta go all the way up here. Okay, I said here, I'm a brand new middle school teacher for science. You can see I'm dictating. I say period. When you dictate period, you don't have to do that, but I'm so used to doing that into my phone. But I'm trying to map out my classroom management plan. I have 26 students in my class and I need procedures for entering the classroom. And you can see I say, getting their bell ringers done, putting papers in the basket, blah, blah, blah. Can you ask me a few questions that will help me with this task? So I asked ChatGPT to ask me questions because I don't know where to start. So I'm basically like, hey, can you ask me some questions that will make you give me a better outcome, right? Or an output? And it says, I want to make sure I have a plan so that we can practice the routines and procedures and I can mitigate any misbehavior. And it says, okay. And here it gives me the questions. How is your classroom physically arranged? Do students have assigned seats? Will students enter from the hallway or another classroom? How do you envision students entering the room? Like for me, I want them to have a bell ringer. I want them to come in and do the bell ringer. Where would the bell ringer be displayed? Okay, now you might say, I don't want to type into here and answer these questions. You do not have to. There's a dictate button, which you can't see because my head is in the way, but right where my head is, right here, there's a little microphone icon. You click it and all you have to do is this. All right, I'm starting on classroom environment setup. How is your classroom physically arranged? I use rows, but sometimes we use groups of tables, blah, blah, blah. And I put that all in here. And I went in, I actually stopped at number 4 and hit enter and let it go because sometimes you can get talking for a long time. And if it's too much, it'll erase and you got to go back and answer all these questions. So sometimes if I'm going on for a long period of time, I'll stop and hit enter, which is what I did here. You can see, here's my, okay, I'm going to answer these questions, blah, blah, blah. This is just me rambling on the answers. And then it says, let's keep building. And then it goes to 4. All right. And then I answered 4, 5, and 6. All right. Here it goes. And then it gave me, and let me zoom out just a bit. It gave me middle school science classroom procedures and management plan. And here it is. Now, I said to it, let's see, and I'm going to tell you how to turn this into a PowerPoint. Give me 1 second. Okay. Can you break this up so that I can give it to my students as a printout? But I also want to practice these routines and procedures. So it gave me a welcome to science class. And here it is. And it gave me all of this. And then I said, I said this. These are middle school students, so I don't want to be too lame. Can you design a quick lesson I can do with this? So like a demo lesson that's really focused on procedures and routines, but it's a demo lesson. And it gave it to me. It gave me the objectives, material needed, bell ringer, everything I needed here. All right. So now let me see what I need to do for this. I'm going to do it in a PowerPoint. Copy the table above. Hang on. That's why I hate this. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to dictate in. Thank you so much for this. Can you please turn this procedures and routines for my class into a PowerPoint presentation that I can have on my board? Please make it simple. I will format it in PowerPoint on my own. Now, here's the thing. Formatting, it's not going to format great. It's going to give you a PowerPoint, but the PowerPoint's not going to look great. Okay. And you can see here, we've got slide 1, 2, 3. So it didn't put it into a PowerPoint. Hang on. Let's see if it gives me a download. Yes. So it says, would you like this saved in a Word file or formatted? Please give this to me in a PPTX. That's the file name. And we're analyzing. We're doing this in real time. So you can even see what it's doing and analyzing. You see this is what it's thinking about. This is actually very helpful for advanced people. If you want to know why it gave what it gave you, it will, you can check out what it's analyzing here. All right. And it's taking a second. There we go. All right. So it gave it to me. Let's see what it gave me. It doesn't always give me the best thing. So let's go here. Let's open it up and I'm going to share screen here. Okay. Let's take it wasn't bad. Let me show you what it did. Hang on. Here we are. Okay. Now, visually, it's not great, but all the content is on there. So this could be the print version. And then you could go over in your tools over here. Here's another thing I'm going to show you guys. For Microsoft Word, they have something called Copilot. All right. Copilot is AI built into, and I've been waiting for them to do this. It's over here, and you can use this Copilot in here to help you with this. Or you could just put on a cool background and put some graphics on here, whatever you want to do. It's not going to format it perfectly for you. You can keep asking it. You can say, I want a blue background. I want this. I want that. And you can keep trying. But I found sometimes it's easier just to format it yourself. It is getting better. When I'm doing resumes, I go back and forth with it. And I'm like, I want it formatted with 6-point space between paragraphs. I do the whole thing. And it did a pretty good job in that. I still had to do a little bit of the formatting myself. Okay. And so it gave me the PowerPoint. So yes, indeed, it will do that. Let me show you one other thing that I got from it. Let's see. All right, let me go back to here. Here's another thing. Do you see? All right. So here's that big PDF I got. You're going to see a lot of times, do you see this AI assistant here? You're going to see this. Everything that you use now is going to have the some sort of AI icon here. It's a little kind of star. You'll see it. It's like a weird star. When you click this, now it's opening up the AI assistant inside this thing. And I might just say, summarize this document. And it's going. And it will summarize the whole document for you. This is going to be super helpful when you get those emails from the district office and you don't want to read them. Trust me, I completely understand. And, oh, well, it went wrong. Let's see. Getting summaries, processing document. I just used it and it worked. Sometimes they bug out, but anyways, we'll see if it does it and I'll share it with you. But it did add a whole thing. It was in bullets for me and it made it much better for me. You can see it's doing it here. Sometimes it takes a second. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than that. Oh, here we go. It's going. Oh, is that all you gave me? This document outlines grading system. It's probably giving me a little bit more. There we go. See, it's summarizing it right here in my margin. Awesome. Look at this. So that's very helpful when you get those crazy documents from the district. All right. All right. So we went over math, biology, classroom management. If you're an art teacher, oh, one more thing. Let me show you what I did in Claude for my English teachers. So let's say you are an English teacher and you want to generate some reading prompts to help your students, get better grades on their reading, and you want them to think critically and all that. This is all I did. I said, please generate a 3-paragraph reading prompt with 5 comprehension questions that include main idea, key details, rhetorical questions, and inference questions. Please make the 3-paragraph reading prompt at the 9th grade level. Now, what I would probably do is upload a standard as well to give it more context, but look what it gave me. Social media and teen mental health. I didn't ask it for a topic. If you wanted to do something else, you could do something else. You can see here's the 3 paragraphs and then comprehension questions. Now it's A, B, and C here. It didn't put it in bullets. And I might say, hey, can you list the A, B, and C vertically? And it'll do that for you. I just didn't have time to do all that. And then I asked it for detailed answer explanations. It says why B is correct. And then it says why the others are incorrect. You might notice that in my study guides, I always tell you why something is correct. And then I also tell you why the others are incorrect, right? That's super important. And this will help you do that without, do you know how long when I used to write my books, I had to write every single question, every single answer choice, every single rationale, every single explanation. Now I have this AI tool that helps me build even better, robust questions, right? Now, when you first use it, it's going to give you a lame question. It's going to be super easy, and it may not give you elicit the response you want. Then you say, okay, that's a pretty good question, but it's a little too on the nose. It's a little too easy. Can you make the answer choices a little bit harder to discern? Can you ask the student to use what paragraph or what line they got this from? You can keep asking it questions. You can upload samples. Like I'll upload SAT samples and say, this is the vibe I'm going for. I want my questions to be this difficult. Can you sort of give me some of that? And it'll start to generate it. It is awesome. All right. So that's another way you can use Claude. Here's the thing. Get in there, use it. It's free. Try it out. I use it for my daily life too. I upload budgets. I upload car insurance. I did this other thing where I have to do this step-by-step thing. I'm getting a certification in an area. I took the website and just copy and pasted a bunch from this website. And I said, can you make me a checklist for this that outlines what I need to do first, second, third, based on this terrible website that's so hard to read? And it did. It went through the checklist. Okay. Now today you're getting, and let me just show you really quickly. I've got some best practices for you. You're going to get this. And I got this from ChatGPT as well. You can see here they have Gemini in Google. So Google's tool is Gemini. I don't use Gemini that much because I use something called Cassidy. You can see it over here. This allows me to use all these different models here. This is a paid thing, but I'm constantly using Cassidy to do my stuff. It will read this web page here. Can you generate me a title for a webinar based on this doc? And like generating titles. And here it is. Empowering educators best practices for leveraging ChatGPT in the classroom. I mean, sometimes it takes a long time to figure out that copy, and here it does right there for you. Now, this is mine. This is my tool that I pay for, but you could grab this, throw it into ChatGPT, and say, "Can you come up with a title for this?" I also asked ChatGPT to make this visually appealing. So it used emojis and things like that. And notice what it did when I copied and pasted this from ChatGPT. It goes in here with this. It used Google Docs formatting, like for headings and stuff. Because notice here, it's all listed on the side here. Let me zoom in. Oh, this doesn't zoom in. Let me see. Will it zoom in? No. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see add context, use questions. So you're getting this. If you're in the webinar right now, you are getting this, but it's going to help you. Now, let me show you one other thing. This particular course is going to go over some more kind of very definitive things. So let me show you really quick. I've got the foundations getting started, but then we get into curriculum planning and mapping. This is going to be like how to make ChatGPT take that lesson planning task off your plate completely. And some of you, I have done some curriculum maps in the past and shown you where to get them on the school website, and they're usually terrible. You can make your own curriculum map for the whole 9 weeks for the year for all of that based on what you're doing, right? Rubrics, building better rubrics. If you are someone who is doing, research papers or science fair, whatever it is, can build better rubrics in here. And you can even have students use the rubric first and grade their own papers first, and then revise them and then turn them into you. Because you know how you get the worst paper? They're like, "Oh, I'm done." It's like, you are not done. You did not revise this. You can show students how to upload the rubric, then upload their work and ask ChatGPT to give it a score and tell them, "Do not turn it back into me until there is a score of whatever you want it to be." That takes a lot of grading off your plate. Okay. Really important there. And then some specifics. We've got English classroom stuff, equations, lengthy, how to make checklists, and some optional homework. And then I have this section here, prompt engineering. So one thing I will tell you is that the prompts that I use today are pretty basic. It's like, "Hey, can you make this for me? Hey, can you make that for me?" And it does a good job. If you're really trying to dig in and build like robust math problems or robust rubrics or a really great lesson plan, unit plan, curriculum map, you're going to need to map out a prompt that could be 2-3 pages long. So I use Google Docs to kind of have my prompt journal. And in the course, I start a prompt journal for you so that it's got some basics in there all ready to go for lesson plans and things like that you can just plug in your information. But I highly recommend, if you really like ChatGPT or Claude and you're writing these prompts, save your prompts. That actually becomes IP. I mean, that's your intellectual property. It's not really what ChatGPT is giving you. It's what you put into ChatGPT to get that amazing response. And those prompts are gold. So make sure you save them. Have a method for saving your prompts, okay? And I noticed that some people are asking, like, how do you save your chat? It automatically saves. These are automatically saved in here. You can delete them or archive them. I recommend archiving. If you want to clean this up, if it's too much, you can archive them. You can rename them. You can rename them by date, get a process in order, especially if you're using the free, because in the paid, I've got a ton of folders. There's so many things you can do with the paid, but in the free, you can still get around it. Just name them properly. It kind of organizes by last 30 days and things like that. But, this stuff is such good information. You don't want to get rid of it. You want to save this stuff. And then I also use, like, sometimes I'll dump my chat in here to make sure, like, this is me talking into the microphone. You may want to just, in case it refreshes, you lose it. I do a lot of dumping my prompts into here. Okay. And that really helps. All right. Let me go into my thing here. Okay. Create a list of ideas for a classroom Socratic seminar on the need to project monarch butterflies. ChatGPT said, here's a list of engaging and thought-provoking Socratic seminar ideas centered around the need to protect. These questions and prompts are designed to stimulate. Yeah. Yep. It'll do that. I asked it to build a raft writing strategy for me, wondering if it even knew what raft was. And I said that I want the students to have a choice, like between 4 different rafts. If you are an English teacher, you probably use raft. Role, audience, format, topic. I actually go through it in my course. It generated me the most amazing prompts based on the novel Things Fall Apart. It was very specific on the raft writing responses, and it was so good. All right. Can you repeat how we can save our prompts, please? Oh, Janet. Okay. I recommend saving the prompts in Google Docs. So right now, there's no way to save your prompts inside ChatGPT. So what I like to do is I like to build, if it's a very long prompt, I like to build that in ChatGPT. I like to build that in Google Docs. I'm sorry. I like to build it in Google Docs and get it all set. And then I'll copy and paste in there. You can also hook up your Google Docs. Let me show you this. It's right there, but sometimes people miss it. Oh, this plus sign isn't working. Hang on. Okay, this plus sign down here, there's an option to hook up your Google Drive to it, and you can do that. But again, this is the free version. I've been using it all morning. I've been hitting this thing with like a ton of data. It's tapped out. Sometimes that happens. Okay. I am in Houston, Texas. I need to. Okay, Pedro, it looks like you're looking for some test prep. I'm talking about ChatGPT now, but I do have some test prep coming up. I'm going to go over that in just a second. Let me just get some last minute questions on ChatGPT. Could you please talk more about how to protect our privacy on ChatGPT? No, because it's not private. So I wouldn't upload anything. If you don't want it to be collected, don't upload it. This is so new that we don't know how they're using the data, but they're using it. There's no way to train these AI agents without our data. It's been using every single thing on Google, everything for years to train it to do what it's doing now. In order for it to get better, it's going to train more on our data. So this is how you protect it. You assume that everything you upload is now being filtered over to ChatGPT, and they are using it for sure, 100%. So to protect yourself, I would look at your district protocols. Do that first before you start using the school computer and things like that, because I don't want to see you guys, they'll say, you should know, there's a protocol. Find the protocol, read it, and that will help you. Someone's got a praxis in the ChatGPT question. Lana, I have to take a praxis this summer. Can ChatGPT help me with the subject, severe and profound special education? Yeah. Upload the specifications and ask it to generate some questions for you. If there's a writing component, upload the writing component guidelines and write an essay and have it grade it for you. It will. It will. I have a video on that on my YouTube channel. I will add it to the email you're going to get at the end of this webinar. You're going to get an email. There is a video that I have where I use ChatGPT to grade my Praxis Core essay. I do an essay and I show you how, because people always ask me, hey, can you grade my essay for me? No, I do not have time to grade individual essays. I literally have thousands and thousands of emails a day. There's no way for me to grade your essay or your resume or anything like that. ChatGPT can help you do that. You upload the rubric, you upload the parameters, you upload the test specs, and it will help you do that. This is the future. I'm so glad that you're giving AI a positive voice. It's our job to teach the students. Yes. Okay. Here's the other thing. Teach students how to use this tool. I am teaching students how to use this tool. I did a whole tutorial on my new YouTube channel for high school students. And if you have high school students, let them know about this channel. And I go through a 5-part essay and I show them what not to do with ChatGPT and how to use ChatGPT. I show them how to get scholarly resources, how to summarize those scholarly resources quickly using ChatGPT. Used to be you had to read everything. I was telling my daughter back in the day, we had to go to the front of the room and get the encyclopedia book, physical book. Remember they were stacked in the front of the room? And you go up and you'd be like, Or L through M. Okay, let me look it up. Open the book, look it up, see if it was in there. That is not the case now, but you have to make sure you're finding those scholarly sources to write your research paper, right? So even though you're using ChatGPT or Claude, there's a step-by-step process. There's a lot of going back and forth with ChatGPT. In order to do well with this tool and not look like you just copied and pasted straight from AI, that you actually used it as a thought partner instead of just something you're using, students need to understand that. And they're outpacing us in how to use it. They're using it to code programs. They're using it. There's a bunch of kids from Yale that got in trouble because they bypassed this whole thing. I mean, they're using it, and so we need to use it as well. Okay, so let me talk to you really quick about, so we've got this course. We're going to send it out. You can get it on my website. There's more there. It's already $10 off. And then with the offer code, it's going to be another $6 off. It's just a quick course to get you acclimated. Take it if you want. If not, use this and move on with your life. I do have some upcoming webinars in June. June will be for test prep. I'm doing the 5001 teaching reading and foundations of reading and special education. Then the following month, July, is going to be all about starting your school year off with success. I'm going to do some classroom management, lesson planning, and some other stuff in those 3 weeks in July. So next month, June, is going to be, and not next week, because next week I'm taking a vacation, but in June, we are going to be test prep, okay? 5001, which will help you with any elementary ed test, special ed, and foundations of reading and teaching reading. Then after that, it's going to be all things new school year, how to start your school year off with success. You guys, I have so many resources for you. Go to my website. I have all the test prep. Now I have the AI courses. I have my book, Teach a Survival Guide for New Educators. I just published practice tests for the 5001. This is on Amazon. It's kind of awesome. It's just all practice tests. It's what you guys have been wanting forever. I stayed away from it because I'm like, you can't just do practice tests all day long, but it's what the people want, so give it to them. I'll probably be doing this with a lot of different ones, but this is separate from the book. This is like another 2 sets of practice tests that are separate from the book. So if you're looking for more practice tests, we've got them. Let's see here. Latoya, I remember those days. She's probably talking about the almanacs and the the Encyclopedia Britannica on the front of the room. My daughter looked at me like I was crazy. She's like, "You went to the front of the room and picked up a book and like looked in it to see if your subject was in there. You'd have to use the index to see if it was in there." Yes, indeed, the Dewey Decimal System. That's how we did it back in the day. If I sign up for the class, how long do I have to take it? My classes for teacher certification do not expire. My SAT classes, and let me just show you my new SAT classes just so that we can, my SAT classes are a little bit different. I am going to, I'm making them for 6 months because I want the kids to do them. I don't want them to sit on them too long, but I'll always redo it for the kids if they need it. I've got some free prep here. If you guys are looking for more grammar, reading, and math, this is another free resource. This is on KMJ Learning. This is for my college prep. And if you go under free prep here, you just put in your email. I have like 2 weeks full of live SAT. And it corresponds with my YouTube channel, which is right here. Let me see. Switch channel. Hang on. I'm going to show you my new YouTube channel, which has a lot of stuff in it as well. Oh my God, it's too loud. Let's go here. My channel. I'm going to share this screen. So this is all SAT, GED, college prep stuff here, but you can see I have, these are how to write an A+ essay with me, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. This is good for you too if you're a graduate student, undergrad, looking for help with writing essays using ChatGPT. I also go live for SAT here, and on my KMJ Learning site here under free prep, you can download the practice test questions, and they're like all practice tests. So if you're practicing for the core and you're looking for more stuff, you've already bought my book, you've already done the course, you want more practice tests, there are some things in here that will help you, although it is suited for SAT, but it's all the same. And then, of course, everything on my website. Under free webinars, you will find upcoming webinars. Right now, this is the only one listed, but we will give you a link in the email we're sending out, and you will be able to get, nope, those are disabled. You'll be able to see all the upcoming webinars for the 5001, the teaching reading, and the special education. Here are the past ones. If you're looking for jobs, here are interview secrets for teachers, school leadership. If you are trying to get an assistant principal position, grab this. And I use AI in that on how to do it. And then some of you are asking for PPR and PLT. This will help you. Special education. These are all of my past webinars, and they're awesome. If you're taking a test soon, grab these. I do them live all the time, but I've got ESOL, 7001, leadership, everything you can think of, they're all there. So go to my website and grab those. Of course, let's go here. My YouTube channel has tons of information, and I'm actually going to be sending you a couple of videos that have to do with AI, what I talked about, and especially using AI to grade my essays and things like that. So you can see how to do that. But this YouTube channel is great. This is Kathleen Jasper, EDD. And now I have a KMJ Learning. I'll hook it all up in the email. Don't worry. But yeah, that's everything. Let me know really quickly. Let's see. For college educators, Vanderbilt has prompt engineering course that is free. Ooh, Kathleen. Kathleen just sent out a little thing. I just lost it. Where are you, Kathleen? Okay. For college educators, Vanderbilt has a prompt engineering course for free. Yes. And no, this is great. You need to be better at prompt engineering. That's going to be the skill. And soon people will pay money for these prompts. I'm telling you. KMJ Learning. It's kmjlearning.com. Sorry. kmjlearning.com. Sometimes I mess it up. kmjlearning.com. That's my new company. It's for college prep. Everything's going to end up being under KMJ Learning soon, but it's focused on college prep right now. Do you give PD certificates for your videos? No, Sandy, I don't give PD certificates. There's so many different states, so many different districts. There's no way for me to keep up with that. Let's see. Thank you for all your resources. Awesome. Okay. So listen, it's Memorial Day weekend. You guys have done a lot of work. The kids are crazy. You're tired. Take a break. I'm going to go sit by the pool. It is so hot here in Florida right now. And I hope you found this helpful. I know it's a little kind of crazy. I get very excited when I talk about AI. So hopefully you understood what I was talking about. The thing I want you to understand is you cannot break it. Sign up for an account and just start asking it questions. Upload what you can. Remember, if it's too big, it's going to kind of pitter out and say you need to upgrade. But there's so much you can do with this for your personal, for your creative, and lesson planning, curriculum mapping, generating prompts. The sky is the limit. So please use it. Let us know how you're doing. And I'll see you back in a couple of weeks for test prep, 5001, teaching, reading, and special education. I'm here most Saturdays. I wish you well. Let me know how you're doing. And thank you so much for joining me today for this webinar. I hope you all have a great holiday weekend. Bye.